Welcome to this edition of Ethical Sustainable Investment News and Analysis to Profit By. I'm Ron Robbins, an ethical investing pioneer for over 40 years, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, the Globe and Mail, and numerous other media, and founder of the highly respected global ethical sustainable investing information website, Investing for the Soul. And please listen to my disclaimer statement at the end of this podcast. Now enjoy this podcast. Hello, Ron Robbins here. Welcome to podcast episode 102 and published on March 24th, 2023, titled The World's Most Ethical Companies. It's presented by Investing for the Soul. Investingforthesoul.com is your site for vital global ethical and sustainable investing mentoring, news, commentary, information, and resources. Remember that you can find a full transcript and links to content, including stock symbols and bonus material, on this episode's podcast page located at investingforthesoul.com/podcasts. Now, if any terms are unfamiliar to you, simply Google them. Also, a reminder, I do not evaluate any of the stocks or funds mentioned in these podcasts, nor do I receive any compensation from anyone covered in these podcasts. Furthermore, I will reveal to you any personal investments I have in the investments mentioned herein. Additionally, quotes about individual companies are brief so that I can get as many companies covered as possible in the time allowed. Please go to this podcast's webpage for links to the actual articles for more company and stock information. Also, some companies might be covered more than once, and there are also 4 article links below that time didn't allow me to review them here. I'm going to start with a great ranking analysis titled The 2023 World's Most Ethical Companies. The most frequent companies to appear on the list at 17 times, that's annually, 17 times, are Aflac Incorporated, Ecolab, International Paper, KO, Milliken & Company, and PepsiCo, Inc. If there is a weakness in this list, it's that the companies have to apply to be rated. Hence, this process could leave out some great companies. Here are some quotes from their website. At the heart of the evaluation and selection process for the world's most ethical companies is Ethisphere's proprietary rating system, the Corporate Ethics Quotient. The EQ framework features more than 200 multiple-choice and text questions that capture a company's performance in an objective, consistent, and standardized way. In 2023, 135 organizations are recognized for their unwavering commitment to business integrity. The honorees span 19 countries and 46 industries, and include 8 first-time honorees. End quotes. Next is this article titled Top 10 Brands for Diverse Corporate Social Responsibility by Tom Swallow on sustainabilitymag.com. Though not strictly investment recommendations, this list will appeal to many listeners of this podcast. Here are some comments by Mr. Swallow on each of his chosen brands. To highlight the diverse approaches to corporate social responsibility, we're looking at some of the leading organizations for both their commitments and innovative stance on developing business sustainability. Starting with number 10, Bosch. Backing climate neutrality, Bosch is a major provider of high-quality, reliable electronics, along with other solutions to support sustainable development. The company is committed to reducing emissions both upstream and downstream in its supply chain. From an electric vehicle standpoint, Bosch enables electrification through its electric drive solutions, providing scalable propulsion solutions to the industry. 9 is Tom's, which is a private company. The popular footwear brand Tom's is built on social impact, as the primary mission of the company is to donate a pair of shoes for every new pair sold. 8. Wells Fargo. The financial services organization, Wells Fargo, donates up to 1.5% of its annual revenue to charities, a percentage of revenue that exceeds US $18.7 billion. These funds reach more than 14,500 non-profit organizations, including those supporting efforts to provide food and renewable energy and science development programs. 7. Pfizer. In times of crisis, healthcare assistance is critical, which is where Pfizer provides extensive support through its 3-pillar strategy to meet corporate social responsibility objectives. These pillars include donation, grant funding, and providing aid when disaster strikes. Such efforts were seen after Hurricane Matthew ripped through Haiti and the ongoing crisis plaguing refugees in Europe and the Middle East. 6. Netflix. The online, on-demand streaming platform Netflix enables relationships by offering its staff members 52 weeks paid parental leave, which can be taken at any time within a child's early years. The average technology firm provides parents with 18 weeks paid leave during the maternity-paternity phase. 5. Ford Motor Company, one of the largest automotive brands with heritage dating back to 1903. Ford Motor Company is on a mission to build a better world through electrification. One of the key employment mechanisms backed by Ford is pay equity as part of its wider diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy, balancing discrepancies in the pay gap between employees. 4. Coca-Cola Company. The environment is a primary focus for Coca-Cola Company, and one of its most significant adaptations will come from 100% plant-based packaging. In 2021, the business announced the first ever bottle made in this way and has since been refining its product and understanding how it will align with the wider manufacturing process. 3. Starbucks. Representing corporate social responsibility in the cafe business is Starbucks, which is openly committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workforce. Starbucks has taken steps to address racial and social inequality by introducing a mentorship scheme designed to link people from Black and Indigenous backgrounds to senior executives and cultivate partnerships. By 2025, the company hopes to reach its target to achieve 30% Black, Indigenous, and people of color representation in corporate roles and 40% in retail and manufacturing. 2. Alphabet. As the parent of Google, Alphabet's corporate social responsibility strategy aims to indirectly support communities and address their concerns. However, Google is already well acquainted with climate strategy and is taking action to reduce the impact of the search engine and supported devices. And number 1, Johnson & Johnson. A leading organization in the pharmaceutical industry, Johnson & Johnson acts as a great example of corporate social responsibility in action. For more than 30 years, J&J has dedicated many of its efforts to minimizing its ecological footprint. Its support spans various aspects, including wind energy usage and delivering clean water to communities globally. End quotes. Now back to a popular theme with this article titled 12 Best Renewable Energy Stocks to Buy Now. It's by Fahad Saleem and was found on news.yahoo.com. Here's some of what Mr. Saleem has to say about each of his stock picks. For this article, we scanned InsiderMonkey's database of 943 hedge funds and picked the top 12 renewable energy stocks. That means these are the most popular renewable energy stocks among the elite hedge funds in the world. With each stock, we have mentioned the number of hedge fund investors as of the end of the fourth quarter 2022. Starting with number 12, Canadian Solar Inc. Number of hedge fund holders, 16. Canadian Solar sells solar PV modules. For the fourth quarter, Canadian Solar expects its revenue to come in at $1.97 billion, better than its guidance range of $1.8 billion to $1.9 billion. Analyst consensus estimate for this figure was $1.86 billion. For the first quarter of 2023, Canadian Solar expects its revenue to come in the range of $1.6 billion to $1.8 billion, which is below the analyst consensus estimate of $2.04 billion. 11. Avangrid Inc. Hedge fund holders, 18. Avangrid is an energy company serving millions of customers in the U.S. Avangrid is a strong renewable energy portfolio consisting of wind and solar energy projects. In February, Avangrid declared a per-share dividend of 44 cents, in line with the previous dividend. Forward dividend yield at the time came in at 4.34%. 10. SunPower Corporation. Hedge fund holders, 21. SunPower Corporation makes photovoltaic solar energy generation systems and battery energy storage products primarily for residential customers. In February, SunPower Corporation posted strong Q4 results that crushed analyst estimates. Adjusted earnings per share in the quarter came in at 15 cents, beating estimates by 1 cent. Revenue in the quarter jumped about 43% year-on-year to reach $497.4 million, beating estimates by $16.4 million. 9. Plug Power Inc. Hedge fund holders, 25. Hydrogen fuel cell company Plug Power is one of the best renewable energy stocks to buy now. Recently, Citi analyst P.J. Juvarkar decreased his price target for Plug Power stock to $20 from $21, but kept a buy rating on the shares. The analyst said that Plug Power has a first-mover advantage to capture the benefits of the Inflation Reduction Act. Number 8. Clearway Energy Inc. Hedge fund holders, 27. Clearway Energy has significant wind and solar energy operations across 26 states in the U.S. Clearway Energy has a P/E ratio of 5.94, which makes it an attractive option for those looking for undervalued plays in the renewable energy space. In February, Clearway Energy declared a quarterly dividend of 37.45 cents per share, which was a 2% increase from its previous dividend. Forward dividend at the time came in at 4.48%. 7. Renewable Energy International Inc. Hedge fund holders 27. Residential solar company Renewable Energy International recently posted Q4 results which were better than expected. GAAP earnings per share in the quarter came in at minus 18 cents, beating estimates by 26 cents. Revenue in the quarter increased by 200.8% to reach $195.6 million, beating estimates by $55.84 million. 6. Solar Edge Technologies Inc. Hedge fund holders 43. Israeli-based Solar Edge Technologies gained about 15% through March 8th. Solar Edge Technologies makes solar inverters widely used in the solar energy industry. In February, Solar Edge Technologies posted strong Q4 results. Adjusted earnings per share in the quarter came in at $2.86, beating estimates by $1.27. Revenue in the quarter increased by about 61% on a year-over-year basis to reach $890 million, beating estimates by $11.64 million. 5. First Solar Inc. Hedge fund holders 44. First Solar stock jumped earlier this month after UBS upgraded the stock to buy from neutral with a $250 price target. UBS believes First Solar is the most significant beneficiary of the Inflation Reduction Act. 4. Constellation Energy Corporation. Hedge fund holders 51. Baltimore, Maryland-based Constellation Energy says it's the largest producer of carbon-free energy in the country. Earlier this month, Constellation Energy Corporation announced that it has started hydrogen production at its 9 Mile Point nuclear plant in Oswego, New York. Algo Capital made the following comment about Constellation Energy Corporation in its Q3 2022 investor letter. Shares outperformed during the third quarter primarily due to the Inflation Reduction Act. The bill provides a nuclear production tax credit of approximately $43.75 per megawatt hour of energy generated. This credit favorably impacted earnings. 3. NextEra Energy Inc. Hedge fund holders 61. NextEra Energy is one of the most popular renewable energy stocks among elite hedge funds. In February, NextEra Energy rolled out a 10% increase in its quarterly dividend when it announced a per-share dividend of 46.75 cents. 2. Enphase Energy Inc. Hedge fund holders 63. Enphase Energy is one of the most versatile renewable energy companies, making several solutions in the industry, including solar microinverters, battery energy storage, and EV charging stations for homes. In late February, Enphase Energy shares jumped after Janney Montgomery analyst Sean Milligan upgraded the stock to buy from neutral with a $282 price target. And number 1, Tesla Inc. Hedge fund holders 91. Tesla Inc. makes it to our list of the best renewable energy stocks because the company's electric vehicles are playing key role in deploying the renewable energy sources in the auto industry, in addition to its Powerwall and solar roof products for homes. Recently, Jefferies upped its price target for Tesla Inc. to $230 from $180 and kept a buy rating on the shares. Jefferies also upped its 2023 and 2024 operating earnings estimates for Tesla Inc. by 10% and 8% respectively." End quotes. Now some other honorable mentions, no particular order. 1. Title: 11 Stocks to Examine Through a Sustainability Lens on Morningstar.ca by Adam Fleck. Articles from outside the US. 1. UK. Title: 6 Ethical Investment IFISAs on p2pfinancenews.co.uk by Hannah Ganaj Stewart. 2. UK title: "We've Lost the Right to be Pessimistic. Patagonia Treads Fine Line Tackling Climate Crisis as For-Profit Company," and found on theguardian.com by Lauren Aratani. And 3. UK title: "Could these 3 renewable energy stocks surge as lithium demand grows?" found on uk.finance.yahoo.com by Christopher Ruan. Well, these are my top news stories with their stock and fund tips for this podcast number 102, titled "The World's Most Ethical Companies." Now please be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you download or listen to this podcast. That helps bring these podcasts to others like you. And please click the share buttons to share this podcast with your friends and family. Let's promote ethical and sustainable investing as a force for hope and prosperity in these terribly troubled times. Contact me if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next on April 7th. Bye for now. Learn how to create a simple portfolio reflecting your personal values by taking my 1-hour tutorial. Go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and click the link in the right-hand column for my DIY Ethical Sustainable Investing Pays tutorial. Now, I'll mention in the podcast if I have any direct interest or holdings in companies or securities I'm talking about. Furthermore, any news, opinions, analysis, or other information offered by myself, as well as references and information to or from other external sources in this podcast, is provided as general market information and should not be relied upon, and thus does not constitute investment advice. Investors should consult their own licensed investment professional before making investments. Also, I will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on information in this podcast. Do contact me at ronr@investingforthesoul.com. Signing off, this is Ron Robbins.